Hey guys, Zach Mason here. Welcome back. I'm sorry I've been gone so long. I've been doing research, writing, teaching, working on a lot of things God's been telling me to. But I think I am moving into a season where I'm going to be posting more frequently. A couple things. One thing I am working on right now is a compilation of dreams and visions about disease X, which you may or may not have been hearing about in the news. I should be posting that soon, so look for that. Also, a very interesting thing happened to me. I was in my secondary office at my coffee shop a few weeks ago, and actually not a few, I think last week, early last week. And I was feeling tired one afternoon. I just kind of laid down on this love seat that's there, and I guess I started to doze off, and I had a flash vision of, it was a black background, but I saw deep red letters, all caps, the name of the country, Kyrgyzstan, which wasn't on my mind. Didn't even really, that's the one country I've always thought that's just a bunch of letters run together. I don't even know how it's really spelled, but in this vision, it was spelled right. And now I know how to spell it and say it, Kyrgyzstan. It's one of the Stan nations in Central Asia near Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, etc. It's the one I had paid the least attention to, though, and it was definitely not on my mind. But in this flash, I saw the letters Kyrgyzstan in deep red, and underline it was a solid red outline of the country of Kyrgyzstan. But I knew in the vision it was not the shape of Kyrgyzstan; it was the shape of Kazakhstan. And then it just went away, and that sent me on a a serious trail of research. I've been researching and learning so much, and through that one flash of vision, God had me stumble onto the key to everything that's been happening internationally over the past few years. I now understand exactly what's going on, and I'm going to explain that to you over the next weeks, and I'm going to do a series of short videos because it's too much to explain in one video, and I think people will like it in bite sizes better to digest it. But suffice it to say for now, it all has to do with uranium. And you can go ahead and start researching now yourself. Just research uranium mines, uranium deposits, start looking around, seeing what you see. You may stumble on a lot of the same things I have. I believe God has helped me understand what's going on with this thread by just showing me Kyrgyzstan in the shape of Kazakhstan. I also believe that flash vision was alerting me that there's going to possibly be a war in Kyrgyzstan, a coup rising up in that country soon. I'll talk about that soon. And why I think that, and how, and who might be behind it. In the meantime, the topic for this short video is there's been a lot of chatter about Biden being replaced as a candidate on the Democrat ticket, and I do not believe that's going to happen. Now, I'm going to let me qualify my predictions because I need to make it clear how strongly I believe something and why. So I think for everybody's clarity, if I say something that I'm absolutely positive something's going to happen, that means it's off the charts. I think you really, honest, not just I think, you really shouldn't argue with me. I know it's going to happen. They're absolutely going to happen if I say that. Okay. If I say I'm very certain, then maybe I'm at an 80-85% probably. I think 8 out of 10. In the case of Biden not being replaced on the ticket, I would say I'm pretty certain. So maybe a little less than 8. Maybe it's a 6 or 7 out of 10. But let me explain why I do not believe he's going to be replaced and why that's my expectation. First, we have evidence from the dreams and visions, and I'll get to that in a second. But you have to ask yourself, why is he in there in the first place? Who does it benefit for Biden to be in the White House? Do you not think his dementia, his senility, was unknown when he ran before? Of course it was. All of that was in the news. So who benefits? Clearly, the deep state. The only company or organization that benefits from a senile leader or a leader who isn't fully there is an organization that doesn't want the leader leading, where the underlings want to run it themselves. So the deep state. The deep state hated Donald Trump because he was actually a president. A caveat, I do not currently support Donald Trump. Definitely don't support Democrats or Biden. I'm not godless. I love God. However, not a supporter of Donald Trump. I don't believe God is either. I caution you in that. We'll talk about it more in future videos. I don't believe he supports any of the candidates. That said, back to Biden. The deep state was very frustrated by Donald Trump because he was a leader who actually wanted to lead, who wanted to make decisions, and they're not used to that. They're used to the president just being a figurehead, a guy gets attention, all the credit for everything, but they're the ones making the decisions, making the recommendations, doing the work. They don't like being told how to do their jobs. That happens in every organization. But the United States government is really strong. Well, the deep state didn't like that. And as we know, they tried to take him out in multiple ways. So Biden was the perfect candidate for the deep state. But a deep state or underlings in an organization or a company that are running the show, somebody's still leading. Somebody's still giving the marching orders. And we know that's Obama in this administration, namely through Susan Rice and both of the chief of staffs that Biden has had that run all of the staff, the White House staff, and means the agencies, everything else. Those are all Obamites. They all came out of the Obama White House. They're all taking orders from him, and they're doing his agenda. Even the stuff that's happening on the southern border right now is straight out of Obama's books, Dreams of My Father. You know, this is the revenge he wants on the Western world. And it's what he stated very clearly was his actual dream. He's living it out, and he doesn't have to be accountable for it. He gets to do whatever he wants through his proxies in the Biden White House, and Biden takes the fall. Biden takes the blame. It's a dream setup for Barack Obama. And it's not just my theory. Do your research. You'll find out there are lots of people who have written articles, editorials, exposés talking about this very thing, how the Biden White House is run by Barack Obama through Susan Rice and others. So understanding that, why would Obama allow Biden to be replaced? Why would he agree for him to step down? Why would he not keep him as a candidate? You think, well, how can he stay the candidate? Well, how wouldn't he? Unless he dies. And even then, they might try to use artificial intelligence and CGI to make it seem like he's still alive. Unless he dies, how would you replace him? If Obama is running the show because Biden is so senile and doesn't intervene, can't intervene, then how would Obama let him be replaced? The only way would be for Biden to step down. Biden's not going to step down voluntarily. That would only come from internal pressure. And how would there be any internal pressure if the guy running the show behind the scenes likes it this way? All of the cabinet members would have to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove Biden, and they're not going to do that if they're taking orders from Obama, who likes it this way. So I would not look for logic to prevail in this situation. And from the dreams, we see this. If you go back, and maybe I'll play a clip right here of Dana Coverstone's The November Dream.
House on the prairie, and Kamala Harris was driving that wagon. It was led by two mules. And Joe Biden was not sitting with Kamala Harris. Joe Biden was riding on one of the mules on the left there. And Harris began to whip the mules and with the whip. And she was hitting Joe Biden as well. But Biden had no idea he was being whipped. He was not aware of what was happening. And the mules started moving and picking up speed. They were headed towards a target. And this is where I saw Hillary Clinton was standing behind President Trump. President Trump was on his knees.
And in that dream, we see that the only way Kamala Harris was moving towards taking the presidency for herself was by aligning herself with Hillary Clinton. There are two machines in the Democrat Party, in liberal politics in the United States, the Obama machine and the Clinton machine. Kamala Harris, the reason she hasn't been able to take over is because she's not on board with either. She's not part of either network. Obama doesn't like her. Clinton hasn't liked her. So she's, I think, figuring out Obama isn't going to back her. So she's aligning herself with the Clinton machine. But to do that, she has to whip Joe Biden and remove Trump, which she's working on. And that's, remember, Clinton is allied with Skull and Bones, which runs the CIA, and that's why the intelligence services seem to have turned on Biden. That is being represented by Kamala Harris whipping Biden. These stories are coming from Kamala Harris trying to pressure him out of the office. But I don't think you're going to see it. I don't think you're going to see a voluntary step down. My expectations are no, because while there aren't a ton of dreams out there on what happens with Joe Biden, the only ones I've ever seen that see his fate all see him passing away from a heart attack behind a podium. It's not a lot of them, it's just a handful, but they've all seen the same thing. There's no competing narrative. So for that reason, my expectation is Joe Biden will not step down. He will continue to run for president. I believe he will stay in there, possibly against the law, after the next election. But I don't think he will, if he does make it through the next election, I kind of expect him to, actually. I expect him to make it through the next election. I think the heart attack might happen after that, right after that. Maybe a month after that or so. But before the inauguration, I would expect him to have that heart attack. That's kind of what I'm expecting, as dark as it sounds, and I'm really not rejoicing. I'm sorry, we should not rejoice if an enemy, he's not really our enemy. He's controlled by the enemy. That's the sad thing. Anyways, that's my expectation. At what level am I expecting it? Well, I have no competing narratives in the dreams and visions that God's been giving us, but I don't have that many, maybe 10 to 12 dreams or visions about that. So I'm sitting at about a 70% probability. That means that I would be very surprised if it goes a different way. But I'm saying right now, there's room for me to be wrong because I don't have enough data. So on that note, I'm giving you my best assessment why I think Biden will not step down. But the understanding that Obama is running the White House is important to understand all of the global events that are happening right now. And so next videos, we're going to be talking about uranium and everything that involves, from Afghanistan to Kazakhstan to Ukraine to even why Venezuela is now threatening Guyana in South America. But for now, have a good day. Enjoy the great weather if you're on whatever days you have great weather wherever you are. Right now it's great weather here. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, get ready. Pursue God, seek Him with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love Him with everything you are. And love your neighbor as yourself, of course. We'll see you soon.